Let's move on now to news from the Delhi election. It is hotting up, the battle for Delhi, especially between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, the BJP, of course, divided in its ranks over, many say, the selection of Kiran Bedi as a choice for Chief Ministerial candidate. But today, the party's bigwigs, including Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, speaks exclusively to Rahul Srivastav and puts his weight behind the Chief Ministerial candidate.
In battlefield Delhi, the BJP has launched all its big guns. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley is on his way to address a rally, a public meeting. Mr. Jaitley, is it a last-minute surge that the BJP has launched?
This is normal in every election. You now have a 2-week campaign, and you put your organizational systems in a constituency in place. And then in the last 7, 8, 9 days, the public rallies and meetings start. Towards the end, the last 3, 4 days, the Prime Minister comes and adds momentum to the whole campaign. It's quite obvious. And that's
or should we say, is it a different BJP now, with MPs and others from several constituencies called in?
I'll just tell you, after we came to power and thereafter Amit Shah took over, he contests a no-holds-barred election. No-holds-barred in the sense that he puts in all the effort. And the effort that he's putting into this election includes, in Maharashtra, the whole national team of the BJP was involved. Haryana it happened, Jammu, Srinagar, Jharkhand. That's how we've contested the other elections. That's how we are contesting Delhi.
A letter by Mr. Satish Upadhyay, the Delhi BJP president, in which he talks about that Nishkriya mat hoiye, don't be inactive because you may regret it all your life.
No, this actually means this is addressed to some people who are aspirants for local tickets. And if you didn't get it and you are inactive because of that, or you are a little nishkriya or udas, so this is to pump them up to say, be in the campaign.
Do you think Kiran Bedi as a choice for the Chief Minister candidate has fitted into what really the BJP wanted in terms to galvanize the voters?
I think it's an excellent choice. She has a track record of 35-40 years. She's been an A-grade police officer. She's been an iconic police officer. She has the image of a totally honest person. She has an image of a doer. Even her criticism is that she'll go to any extent. Ziddi hai, lekin jo chahengi wo karengi. Now, Delhi needs somebody like this. Delhi has all the potential, the history, the culture, the archaeology to be a world-class city. And therefore you need a chief minister who's a little unconventional, who'll be a doer. And I can't see on the landscape of Delhi anybody better suited than her for being a doer.
One very interesting fact that since it is Delhi and Mr. Modi and his government's performance and a lot of things, don't they come to test here? You may say that it's been too short a time, but somewhere it will always be taken as some kind of barometer.
See, election is a barometer of various things, and therefore the credibility that BJP and the NDA government has built up is certainly one of the issues. But please remember, elections are not a referendum on... Each election is not a referendum, as we want to make it sound. You had 7 elections along with or after the Lok Sabha elections. The Congress has miserably lost everywhere. In Delhi also, they seem to be disappearing like the river Saraswati.
But the stakes are very high for you.
The stakes are high for every party in an election. Nobody likes to lose an election. And that is exactly the reason why we are making the best effort.
You will not say that this will be some kind of referendum on basic policy, because you're a very interesting voter in Delhi. There is a large middle class. There is a people who are the deciders. There is also the people who are below the poverty line, Juggi Jhopri clusters, outsiders, migrants.
Delhi has every kind of voter, and we are putting it our level best for every segment of that voter.
You will not call it a referendum then?
You see, referendum is a word which generally is a media phrase. This is a media phrase, but every election is not a referendum.
And what will you give credit to Aam Aadmi Party? There has been a virtual attack on Kejriwal now. We can see 5 questions a day.
I'm not in favor of that kind of politics. It's the Aam Aadmi Party which is born out of politics of negativism. We should not be in that politics of negativism. We have a lot of positive. We have a good performance of the NDA government so far. We have a Prime Minister who's performing superbly. We have a leader for Delhi in Mrs. Kiran Bedi who's doing extremely well. And therefore, we can afford and we should do only and only a positive campaign. That's my advice to all my friends.
5 questions a day, those kind of things.
Right. These are logical questions. To ask a candidate that last time you took all the oaths and you swore on everybody in earth that you won't join hands with the Congress, and you're the first opportunity you join hands with the Congress. So if you have the audacity to call our leader an opportunist, can't we give a substantive evidence to say, please peep into your own self? Now that's a permissible argument in politics.
What is being said is that this time around, with the Congress virtually decimated and not in the frame, somewhere the minority voter could well swing towards AAP. How does that change the position?
I think a very large section of minority is with us. This time we are gaining compared to last time, even in the Muslim voter. There's a huge Sikh vote substantially coming over to us this time. The kind of steps we have taken, our alliance with Akali Dal has also been of considerable help. And in all those constituencies where there's a significant minority vote, we are also doing our own studies. We are doing reasonably well.
There is a difficulty for the BJP that there is no possibility, because there are just 3 parties. There is no possibility of an alliance.
And that is exactly why you are proving my point. Therefore, vote for a single party government. Don't vote for an opportunistic alliance. This is exactly what you just now called a negative campaign.
No, but will not also mean that makes it difficult for the BJP that you have to win and win very well.
Of course, we have to win, and we have to win a comfortable majority, and that's what we will do.
Don't you think also that it's difficult to fight somebody like Kejriwal compared to a conventional political party?
I don't think so. Because to fight such politics, you don't have to fight in their tactics. The Aam Aadmi Party has a USP. It can singularly lower the level of every debate. That's what they've been doing.
Is that a difficulty for you? For a conventional party like you also?
No, we must stick to our own USP. We have a track record of governance, and we must convert this election in Delhi into governance versus anarchy. The 2 leaders in Delhi who are facing each other are symbols of good governance and symbols of anarchy.
You are in the middle of preparing the next budget, and what you have done in the last few months could well depict which way the middle class in Delhi goes. Do you think some positives which you have handed over to the party as far as this election is concerned as finance minister?
We can. From day one, I have said we are a low tax government. I've been giving to every segment of society. For the weakest section, I raised the tax limits. We've been giving all kinds of reasonable tax advantages to various segments. We are not raising taxes. We have brought inflation under control. We have brought prices under control. We have brought up the economy, confidence in the Indian economy. We are trying to attract investment. We are trying to create jobs. And that's how the country is governed.
Do you think that several legislations will stay pending because of what happened in the Rajya Sabha? It could have been much better a story for you in Delhi? Because you would have had much more tangible things than ordinances?
No, I think ordinance is also a legislation. It's a constitutionally permissible legislation. Ordinance doesn't bypass Parliament. It has to be approved by Parliament. And therefore...
the impact would have been better if bills were passed?
I think the impact, the way we have gone, is also very good, because people have now realized that you are choosing between obstructionists and reformers. And I think this country is a responsible country. It will always prefer reformists over obstructionists.
You've always been in favor of statehood for Delhi. And that's perhaps something which the BJP is rather being silent about now.
You see, I am not being silent because that's not the principal issue. We are committed to a statehood. Delhi has an assembly, but it's not a statehood. The only area of debate is where should the law and order power be, because the seat of the central government is here.
Which is an arrangement in several countries in the world.
Which is an arrangement in the several countries, and a party of good governance. These are all issues which are... I'm not saying don't give law and order. You can give law and order in a given situation, but you need a larger political consensus and an image of proper governance. Now, if Delhi can have a chief minister who chooses to sit on a dharna and threatens to disrupt Republic Day, then people of Delhi will have to consider where should the law and order be.
So, why is BJP not talking about the statehood thing?
Well, I think every election is in a context. Not many parties are talking of it, because this election, as I said, is an election between governance and anarchy.
What should the people of Delhi look forward to in terms of a new government which you are promising in terms of law and order? Because eventually it will remain always handicapped by the same problem that the law and order is with the central government.
No, I think we can have a coordination. We can have a via media. We can even have a law and order transfer to Delhi if there is a larger consensus, because this is not an issue on which anybody has a final opinion or a word on it. You can even have it transferred to Delhi. But you can have a debate on this issue. But what people of Delhi should look forward is probably in Kiran Bedi, the best chief minister that they could get under these circumstances.
Last time around when elections were held in Delhi, we had an interesting chat about how Delhi has voted, the outer ring road and the inner ring road areas. Where do you think you have been able to dent Arvind Kejriwal?
I think in two areas we've been able to do considerably well. There was a section of the conventional middle class voter in which last time I saw some ripples in that voter of the Aam Aadmi Party, and that is why they won a considerable number of seats in our traditional areas. I think those people, amongst those people, AAP and its leader have been found out. That these people are a disaster, they are a governance disaster, they are an anarchic group, some misconceived activists, and therefore people will choose to consolidate against them because they don't want this horrendous dream of such groups being in power again. As far as weaker sections are concerned, some of our schemes have done extremely well on those sections. The central government schemes, when you mentioned the poor and the rich being divided, what is Jan Dhan Yojana?
Is that an issue in Delhi?
No, it's the greatest financial inclusion scheme anywhere in the world that we have seen in recent history. Therefore, these are all parts of our performance and we have to put forward these up. And therefore, I think we are improving amongst them. A lot of minority vote, the Sikh vote is coming back to us.
The policy issues are never talked about in elections, but is the optics of Obama visit perhaps part of your campaign?
You see, it's not an optics, it's part of a larger issue. Is Narendra Modi strengthening this country? Is he making every Indian stand up with his head held high? Of course he is. And this visit is symbolic of that. It's the first time that you've had the US President and the Indian Prime Minister, the two countries, talk as equals. Earlier, phrases were used, we are not a client state. Today, we talk with them as equals.
Do you think the Delhi voter is slightly different from other states, like say UP, Rajasthan and others? Because we see suddenly that there is no evil figure here. You know, there is no main challenger who you can really clearly target as you could have where somebody had anti-incumbency or other. No, is that an issue?
Because the evil figure was the Congress. And the Congress has decimated itself. And it's refusing to learn from its mistakes. Therefore, instead of figures, I think there is a policy issue. And the policy issue is what I've been repeatedly saying, governance versus anarchy. You have a single party governance with a leader at the national level and the state level who have a good track record. And you have parties which want to work out an opportunistic alliance and a near anarchic situation.
You swept Delhi last time in Lok Sabha elections. Given that record, how well will the BJP do? Because
many footprints of that record will be visible now.
And where do you think it will get invisible?
You see, I'll tell you, because local candidates, personalities of candidates, local compositions and so on, these make a difference.
But you are confident of the fact that under Kiran Bedi, you are heading for not a win, but a comfortable win.
That's our target. We are trying a comfortable win and I'm sure we are going to get it.
Thank you very much, sir.